Hi everyone, I'm Becka with the Fix It Craft, and here's a lovely card making project for you. Hope you enjoy it. Hi everyone, this is the Best Wishes project. It's a beautiful gift card holder. Your gift card slots, just inside there for you. And it's a standard size gift card, so you know it'll fit them all. So let's get making it. Now there's a lot of measurements. I've broken it down into kind of like 3 parts, this project. So we're going to start off making the base. Okay, and it's actually a 7x5 card, so it does measure 7x5. Now you are cutting your card base at 11x5 inches, and then you'll be going to score it. There you go. 11 across, and then it's by 5 inches down. You're going to score it at 7 inches, so you get your little half flap there. And your patterned papers. Now this is all 1/4 inch down. So this is 6 3/4 by 4 3/4, and then you have this piece here, which measures at 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. Okay, and this piece is your text box, which sits inside, and that measures at 5.5 by 4 3/4. Okay, so that's that one. So this is this section here, and then inside these 2 sections here. Okay, so I'm just going to pop that aside, and I'm going to show you how to pop it together. So these papers, when I'm doing all my baselines, I do like to use the ultra clear tape and my non-stick scissors. So just pin that off, and I like to cut strips for these. Now, when I'm sticking my base bit in, I'm going to be using. I'm just going to pop these aside. I'm going to be using the long lengths across the top, the middle and the bottom. Okay, and the reason why I'm doing that is because I actually just stick it down really, really well, and doesn't have the card coming up. Sorry, lifting off the paper once it's stuck down. And again, I'm just popping that tiny little piece in the middle there, and that just secures it to the actual back of the card. And then my last bit is going to go across the top, and we are going to stick that just there. Now I've just gone over, so if you just lift that slightly back up again, to slip the excess off, and there you go. I'll just pop that on the corner of my mat, just there. So now, just using a little flip technique. Now if you've not watched a video of mine before, I will tell you why I don't go sort of like around the whole of the card base. And the reason for that is so that when you peel all your backing paper off, I've lost my bin. Oh, my bin's actually underneath my desk. So move it to the outside. Sorry. Yeah, when you're using your ultra sticky tape, and it is super, super sticky, I mean, there we go, very sticky. You don't want to try and like holding your fingers over it. So if you stick it across the longer length, should I say, and you've got all that movement either side there to just hold on to it, and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, so we're just going to stick this piece down into your card like that. There you go. Okay, and again you're just going across the top, the middle and the bottom. There we go. And now we're going to attach this piece. And again, using, this is actually, sorry, before I say just go and stick it down, this is the reverse side of this paper here. So, all these papers are double-sided. So again, using our ultra sticky tape here, and again going down the sides of the card, the full length of the card. Now this way it's going to stick like this. So the reason why we're going this way, so it doesn't lift up when we add extra layers on later on. I'm getting all sticky with this stuff now. There we go. And again, across the top, across the middle, and then across the bottom. I am saying the top, middle and bottom in the wrong way actually, I have noticed. Just then thinking I'm going top, middle and bottom, but it is the opposite way around. There we go. Just secure the bits off, and again using my fingernail to just lift the backing off. Sorry. Here you go, just lifting that off, and you can see it's really shiny underneath. I'm just lifting those bits off. And again here, bits in the bin that I've actually now found. Okay, I'm going to just attach it to this side. There. And as you can see, if I'm holding it this way, the paper's really sticking. If I move it round, it's not, because my hands are free. So I'm just going to attach this piece here. There we go. And when you're attaching it, when you cut, you'll notice that they actually line up really nicely. And that's just because of the measuring. If you measure these to the same width, you'll get them bob on. They do sit nicely. Okay, so that's that piece there. So that's the base part of your card made. So now I'm going to be going on to making the topper section, which is this bit here. I'm going to add the flowers on last, and the reason for that is because we're going to be working on the other side of the card here, making this piece. So we'll do them last, okay? So now, this is my topper section. I'll just move those out of the way. So on this one, I have a pink card, and this measures at 4 3/4 across by 2 3/4 down. That's going to sit halfway across the card. I'm just going to move this piece out of the way, the card base out of the way for a moment. And then we have the pink pattern paper. Sorry, I've measured that wrong to you. This one is 5 by 3. This one is 4 3 by 2 3/4. And then the text box here, which is the white card, it's 4.5 by 2 inches. So it's a little bit shorter. Okay, so we're going to start by attaching these two pieces together. Okay, and with this one I'm going to be using my tissue tape here. Okay, and again across the long section, the middle section, and then the other side. The side section right there. Okay, and again keeping my little fingers free. Now this is the finger lift tape. I'm going to show you why this one's so nice, because you have a little flap there. I don't know if you can see that there. Can you see that? There we go. Little flap here. You also have one on this side too, which is, there we go. See those there, and that just allows you to pull the tape off, and it makes it so much easier to actually remove the tape backing. And you can use your finger to lift them up, and they literally just pop off in your fingers, just like that. Okay, so I'm just going to attach this piece with this card base. No, do you know what? I'm so glad I didn't stick that down. We have to attach the ribbon bit first. I am so sorry about that. So I'm using just a little length here of ribbon. There you go. You just want to attach it just along the bottom there, just a little way up from the bottom. I know. Do you know when you look at something, you think, I've actually missed a piece there? It was my ribbon. So there we go, that's now attached on. You can attach a little bit more finger lift tape if you need to, just straight over the ribbon bits there, because it's not going to interfere too much with the ribbon being higher, so it's not going to interfere with it looking on the back. There we go. But okay, now we can attach this piece onto it. And there we go. Okay, now that's nicely steadfast. And now we're going to be using the text box. Now that text box is going to sit really nicely in there. So we're going to be using, for this text box, an absolute gorgeous stamp set here, and it's from Hero Art, and it's the Best Wishes kit. It's absolutely stunning. It's a lovely wedding one, but you don't really have to use it for wedding. Again, this isn't a wedding card that I'm making here. I mean, it could be, but I'm not particularly making it as a wedding card. You've got beautiful fonts that say things like Best Wishes. You've got Love, you have Cherish, Happily Ever After. You've also got this really nice Mr. and Mrs. down the side here. And then this one's nice, wishing you a lifetime of happiness and love, and congratulations. Now, I must say, the stamps do not stamp like this. They stamp a whole lot better. But what I did was I took the stamps, because they sit on these great little folders, so normally you have sort of like two separate pieces of plastic. This one's actually attached to the other piece so you don't lose it. And this is how, you know, good quality these stamps are. I just inked that over and just popped it down onto my paper and just pressed onto it, and then just cleaned it all off by there, just so that I could show you what they actually looked like. So this is the one that we're going to be using, the Best Wishes one here. Okay, so I'm just going to take that off. Now, when you're using these stamps, you will find that they do stick really well to the back, the plastic backing, but don't worry about pulling them off, because they will just come off quite nicely. And I'm using one of the, I think it's a Dovecraft, yes, it's a Dovecraft Acrylic Block. And again, these ones are really good, because what you'll find is that some blocks that I've used, the grid lining, which you can see just here, is normally just painted on with like a little paint. This is actually edged into, as you can hear, edged into the actual acrylic block, so that's not going to wear away. Okay, and that makes it really good for when you're actually using text ones. Even though it's clear, you can actually line it up on the back of your block. So I'm going to just line this one up for you here. And as you can see, I've just used this acrylic line right the way across the bottom, and it's just sat nicely. So when I actually go and stamp this, I can line my stamp block up with my paper. It's probably, in fact, if I try and this one here just to show you, yeah, I can line that up so that I know that it's dead straight on my paper. So I'm going to be using a really bright, this is Melon Mambo from Stampin' Up. Absolutely adore this colour. It's really, really nice and bright. Now, when you're stamping, there's absolutely so many different ways to ink your stamps up. Some people say take the stamp to the ink. I always like to use my ink to my stamp, because it just means that I can really, really lightly tap on, and I don't over tap onto my stamp. As you can see there, it's nice and dark. Because if you go the other way and you press it in, sometimes you really do press that stamp in, and you'll get it on your acrylic blocks, and it'll lightly, you know, smudge a little bit on your stamp. Oops. that was my acrylic block falling off the table there. There we go. I've just got my fingers. Right, that's cool. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I stamp it. Now I'm going to have to move it out away just a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Then I'm going to ink it close to the top, just there. As you can see, that's on quite straight. I'm just going to press down. Now, I would say if I take my hands off, nothing's actually happening to that ink. I'm just going to push that up a bit there. Okay, nothing's happening. It's not moving. It's not smudging it or anything like that. It's actually just sat there. So if I press it, and now when you're taking your stamp off, take the pressure off and then lift it off, and you'll get a perfect finish every time. And that's how I stamp it. Like I say, there's so many different ways you can ink it up, but that's how I do it, and that's really nice. I mean, that's a beautiful, clear image of that font there and that text. Let me show you a little bit more. Excuse my fingers. Like I said, my ink pad flew off the table, as you've probably heard. Okay, and then I'm going to be just taking it and I'm going to line that up inside this one here, and then I'm going to be using my 1mm foam pad here, and this is the 1mm Fix-It Craft foam tape, and this is really nice just to give a very subtle lift to your projects. And it really does make all the difference to what you're doing. Oh dear. 1 second. Okay, there we go. Right. So I'm just going to cut a strip of this off. And then again, lining it across the top there. And again across the bottom. And my little offcuts, I do keep them on the corner of my mat, because my mat I can stick them on and then I can just peel them off. So stick them in the corners, you can see it's just there. Okay. And just press that down. Now with these you can literally just flick the backing paper off. I'm just going to show you that. It's just literally, you just flick that off and it peels straight off there. And again, I'm just going to flick that off, and that's just using my finger now. And look, that's just coming off really easy. Okay. And then I'm just going to attach it to my, there we go, the base. Now again, I'm going to be adding a lovely button, which are these, and these are also in the vintage marketplace range there, and it's the basil paper pack. It's really is lovely. And how I'm going to be attaching that is I'm going to be using a 2mm foam tape. Now I keep my foam pads in these great grip seal bags that actually your foam pads do come in, so that's always really good. And I'm using a 10mm by 10mm and 2mm thick foam pad, and you just literally put that into the back, and this will stick for ages. This foam pad will, it really does stick steadfast. There we go, you can see it's not going to come off. Okay, so that's that bit there, and I'm just going to be adding 2 little gems either side, and this is really just to add just those finishing touches there to the card. And there we go. Okay, and then so we've done the top of the card, and then we've also going to now we've done the topper and the card, which is here. Okay, so the next piece that I'm going to show you is I'm going to show you how to do the card base for the inside. I'm just going to move those out of the way, which is this bit here. So for that, I've already pre-cut and scored the base, the actual card holder, and this is 4 3/4 by 3 inches, and I've scored it at a ½ inch all the way around, and then I've just trimmed the corners off on the score lines, and then I've also trimmed off very slight little angles here at the top, and that's so that when you fold it you don't have extra pieces hanging up behind it, so it just looks a little bit neater. And then what we've done is we've cut a little green piece here, and that's 3½ inches by 1½, and we'll just trim that down just to fit across there, and a little bit of ribbon too, just so that we can add some detail. Now on this card, what I did, again with this paper because it's lovely, that's the other side here, but I'm going to be using this green side this time. Okay, so we can just pop that there like that, and just measure it out. So again, if you're not sure and you're cutting freehand, always cut a little bit more than what you think first, so I know that I'm going to be cutting into this bit here. Okay, and then I'm just going to, with my nail, just make a very small nick into my card and cut. Now that's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it's a lovely handmade card, so we want that rustic finish really, don't we? That's it, it's rustic. Okay, now with this card, I'm just going to move my ink pad out of the way before I do any further damage to myself. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be wrapping the ribbon around around this paper. Sorry, my mind just went blank then. And what you want to do is you want to check with your ribbon what size your ribbon is when you're up against your double-sided tape. So you know that kind of fits, but it's not going to give you too much leeway. So what I like to use is I like to use a 3mm tape, which is this one for thinner ribbons. I'm going to show you. And when you're doing your ribbon, what you need to do is, I'm just going to take this off. Sometimes I feel like I can't multitask. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Okay. So if I take this little thin strip of ultra sticky, and I'm just going to pop it like this. Okay, across the front there, and then I'm going to peel that off like that. Okay, straight plastic there. Okay, and then I can take my ribbon and I can stick that dead straight onto the paper. See, that's come on really nice and straight, and then all we're going to do is just wrap that round nice and neatly like that. So that's going to, you know, that's stuck down now, that's not going to move. And then what we're going to do is just pop that onto there like that. First of all, just pop that one to the side for a second, because we just want to make sure that this is all going to fit nicely. So once you've pre-scored it and cut your edges off, the next thing you do is you're going to need to take your gift card and pop that just inside. And what I've done is I've pre-drawn around it, as you can see there. So I know that my tape can't go over those lines when I run them down, and again using my ultra sticky. And this is using just very small pieces. Now again, if you cut a big piece off like I just did and you're not going to use it all together, you can just attach it back to your reel or your roll, just like that. Okay. So along the bottom, I'm going to pop my ultra sticky just there across the bottom, because you can see there's my line. And then across both sides, just like I say, just beyond that line there. I'll bring this up so that the camera will be able to pick it up for you in a second. Okay, so there you go. So as you can see, there's the pink line here, in here, and the tape's just there. Okay, and then just bring it all back. And we're just folding those creases inside there. There we go. And then that gift card is going to sit just so nicely just inside there with a little bit of leeway. Again, then we're going to edge all the way around this time, so we don't want the card slipping down or slipping across. So we're going to edge it all the way around with the ultra sticky, because we need this to stick inside the card base nicely. So again, just take it down there. I tend to just pop the card, the sticky tape, like kind of roughly into the middle, where possible. I've got like a little collection up here of little bits of tape, and I must say I do use them a lot, with the little off bits. So yeah, so I'm just going to pull this back and off. So there's one rogue piece that's like, I'm not going to come away for you. Okay, and then we're going to attach it onto here. Now again, on the last one I actually scalloped the edges, but on this one I've not done that this time. There we go. Okay, and then I'm just going to slide that in there for you, and that fits fantastic. There we go. So that's your little bit, your gift card there, and it slots in really, really nicely, and it's really secure in there. And then the last thing that we're going to do is just attach our little bit of decorative strip to the card, and there we go. Finger lift tape there. And again with this one, you just need a little bit at the top. There. And at the bottom. Peel that off. And like I say, you can see this stuff is just, the backing is coming off so easily. Can't quite grab that bit. It's coming off so easy. And again, just get it to where you feel that you want that piece, and then just press that down. So that's the inside of your card done there. And the next bit, we're going to attach the actual sentiment. Now when we're attaching this piece, the way I do it is I pop it in the middle, okay, and then I turn my card over, and if I use, now this is a pink fusion tape pen, and you can literally just add a very light dot. Right, I don't know if you can see that. So I'm going to pick it up. There, you can just see it glistening there. Okay. And then I know that I can stick my tape anywhere past that little bit of a glisten, and it's not going to stick out. So I'm going to, using my ultra sticky tape for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach again to this side and to this side, and then a little bit in the middle. Okay, because like I said, this stuff is so sticky, and I'm going to show you something in a minute that I think that you'll be pretty shocked at, but it's really good to know, because one, this will keep the weight down of your card, and also, sorry, I'm just cutting a little bit more, there we go, just for the middle bit there. Yeah, when I show you this little trick, it will, one, keep the weight of the card down, and two, it's really simple to do and so quick. So yeah, and that's attaching your roses. So, again. Okay, so we know that our card is stuck there, but again, all you need to do is just centre it now, because you know where the centre of your card is. Okay, and if I just press that, and there we go. There's no glue sticking out on the other side, and that's nicely popped into the centre of the card. Okay. The last thing that we need to do for this, just to finish it off, is to add your text box. Now this one, again, I did scallop this side here, the top and the bottom, so you can scallop it if you want to, but I've chosen again to keep mine plain. Because I scalloped the inside here, I thought it'd be nice to scallop the top and the bottom of that one too. But like I say, you don't have to do that one, you can just pop this one in inside the card. Now again, with this, you can do is you can just line that bit up right there, line that up like that, and then when you open the card, it sits quite nicely. But again, this time I am just possibly going to line it up in the middle. See how that looks. That looks quite nice actually. Quite like it like that. Okay. So yeah, so you can line that straight up. And for this one, I'm going to be using tissue tape. And I keep to the same format all the time, with, you know, the top, the middle, and the bottom. There we go. Just peel those off. Now, if you just pop this down, sorry, if you pop that down, you can actually see, if I pick that up, I'll show you how I did my scalloped one so that you can see that actually. So I just popped that down and lined it up with that side there, and then I just pressed it on to the back and pressed that down like this, and then it lined up really nicely there. But like I say, you can do it the other way, where you can have it coming all the way around as well. So that's how I did the card. Like I said, the last piece is to show you this bit here. Now I've got some flowers, and they are just 3 sprigs of flowers. Now you can use a full sprig if you wanted to, or like what I did, is just use one of each of the colours. So first off, all you're going to need to do is cut each of your sprigs. My tummy's rumbling for some reason because I'm not hungry. Okay, you're going to cut each of the sprigs off. Press your little excess bit. Now I always keep these little bits open because it just holds the flowers together. Now using your tape here, okay, you're going to cut off a little bit like that. Okay, and then you're just going to attach your flowers to it, like this. So again, and then fold that one round again, and then attach your third flower to it like that. And then again, just fold that round. Oops. And then attach. That's fallen off. Okay, so you're going to attach them just like that. Okay. Again, just peel your backing off your flowers. Take that little bit there, and you can stick that into there, and it all just sits just like that. Okay, and then using a little bit more of the tape, you don't want too much this time because all you're going to do is you're going to keep it nice and flat across the back. Just trim that down just slightly. Across the back of your flower and flowers. Pull that bit of the tape off. Now I've not had to wait for anything to heat up. I'm not having to wait for anything to dry. I'm literally, there we go. I'm literally just going to take that now and attach it to my card, and that's it. It's stuck on, and that will stay on really nicely, and that's how that attaches. And that is just using, like I said, the ultra clear sticky tape. So yeah, so I'm going to show you the other card that I made to start with. So this is the one that I showed you first, with your little gift card holder. Okay, and the one that we've just made is this one here. Again with your little flowers, and there's your gift card holder too. And like I say, it's just slightly different to the one that we made before, without the scalloped tops and bottoms. But yeah, principle's all the same. There you go, and that's the card that we've made today. Okay, have fun, bye.